Rumors are now circulating around a potential release date for both FABLE and Gears of War E-Day, and they might come as a bit of a surprise. But let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. FABLE and Gears of War E-Day were just revealed at the Xbox Showcase just a week ago. And to me, both of these games rank very, very high on my list of most anticipated games moving forward. But both lacked a release date or release window. Seeing how we just got our first big look at FABLE and a cinematic trailer for Gears, I think we're pretty far out from both those titles. Which I do believe FABLE is closer to release than Gears of War, that's hoping, but who knows. And this new rumor making the rounds hints that we may be closer to E-Day than most people would think. So Tom Warren from The Verge gives us this little bit of information when it comes to both these games. And I gotta admit, I'm 50-50 on this. Quote, Microsoft didn't put a date or release window on Gears of War E-Day. But a few months back, I heard it was targeting a release in 2025 ahead of even FABLE. That may have changed by now, so the lack of a release window gives the coalition some breathing room here. Either way, I don't think we'll have to wait too long to see how Gears can really push the Xbox Series S and X consoles. Now, I'm pretty surprised to see that Gears would come out ahead of FABLE, seeing how again we got gameplay for FABLE and just a cinematic for Gears. And given this rumor, I think it's safe to say, at least in my opinion, we do get a 2026 release year, but don't get me wrong, I will not complain if this game comes out sooner. But when we really think about just Gears of War, it has garnered rumors in the past being this massive showcase of power for the Xbox console. And just by looking at that trailer alone, the visuals for this game were unreal. And I do think, correct me if I'm wrong, most of that trailer was done in engine or something close to gameplay. And let's just say this title comes out in 2026. There is also a rumor swirling that Xbox might be looking to release a new console in 2026, which many believe to be the next-gen Xbox console. So pairing a hit title like Gears of War with that new console seems like the ideal pairing to showcase what exactly this new console could do. Let's not forget that original rumor also cited a Call of Duty releasing alongside that console, so that launch lineup would be pretty damn solid. Now, I do think we live in a world where Gears of War could be a cross-gen title for the Xbox Series console and whatever this new Xbox could possibly be. And when I really think about it, the prospect of having a new Gears game as a launch title is too good of a scenario to pass up. Also, a smaller thread to this whole story, which, hey, that might be what kind of ties things together, but 2026 would be the 20th anniversary of Gears of War. So releasing E-Day in that year would be one hell of a way to celebrate. Now, on the other side of this story is good old FABLE. Tom Warren did allude to the fact that this game will try to target an October to December of 2025 release window, which I can totally see happening. And just real quick, I want to kind of put this out there into the ether. Much like we got the Call of Duty Direct this year, the Starfield one prior, I think next year's kind of game direct we're gonna get, I really think that could be FABLE. At least I think it deserves that. But looking at Xbox's known lineup for 2025, it looks to be pretty stacked for them too. By all metrics, we would have FABLE, South of Midnight, I'd assume a new Call of Duty, Doom to Dark Ages, and maybe even Clockwork Revolution. And potentially Gears of War by Tom Warren's measures. That would be a big year for Xbox titles. And that's already on a jam-packed pipeline of games coming out this year. Now to kind of end on a little bit of a rant here as far as games go, and especially their release dates, I got a lot to say on this matter. Time and time again, we've seen games get delayed, pushed forward, pushed backwards, and sometimes the games were outright canceled. And I know this all has to do with meeting margins, numbers, and all that on the business side of things, which, hey, they gotta do what they gotta do. But I do think developers and companies alike would be more well suited to kind of keep those big release date announcements bottled up, at least until the game is damn near the finish line, or potentially, in a perfect world, would have crossed it. By doing this, you kind of capitalize on the initial wave of hype when you first show off the game, and hey, if you really want to flex, maybe even shadow drop it. And what's more important here is it allows you to technically take all the time you need to finish the game without any bad press, or even worse in my opinion, a really bad launch. To that, I look to a game like Cyberpunk to be the poster child of this rant, because it got announced so many years ago, it kept getting delayed and delayed. I just think by not announcing the date for the game, you can take all the pressure off yourself and give you all the time you need to deliver a finished product. But hey, before I really go on a rant, I'm gonna pass this off to you guys. When do you think we get Gears of War E-Day? Is it 2025? Is it 2026? God forbid. Is it 2027 or even later? I'm still in the camp for 2026 for all this. One, because we didn't even get gameplay. But then again, the Coalition apparently has been working on this game for quite some time. So that might warrant 2025. Who knows? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.